A lot of different angles when it comes to the end of Title 42. One of them we found out about, of course, talking with Sheriff Mike Bouchard of Oakland County tonight, was the flow of drugs coming in. Already a problem, expected to be even more of a problem. Meantime, there are efforts to save lives, especially when it comes to opioid overdoses. Narcan kits like this one will be popping up at community centers and public locations all across Oakland County to save lives in an instant.
Law enforcement across this country is very anxious about the flood across the border because we already have huge numbers of people coming in that are muling drugs, that are bringing the kinds of things that are killing American citizens.
Oakland County Sheriff Mike Bouchard says it's one of the many threats looming with the end of the COVID-era Title 42 immigration restrictions at the southern border, with thousands upon thousands ready to cross over into the U.S. This alongside an immigration system that national leaders in both major political parties say is broken. And it's no help for America's ongoing opioid crisis, especially right here at home.
We had 100,000 people die 2 years in a row in America. Leading cause of death for people between 18 and 22 in America now is drug overdoses. That's terrible. And, some of it is actually clearly preventable if we take some action. There's a lot of people that want to come here for the right reasons and good reasons, but we need to secure our border and those that are coming in for the right reasons with a legal system that needs to be fixed, but screen out the people that are really preying off the deaths of people across the country.
Thankfully, there is some help already on the way. You'll soon be seeing these Save a Life stations installed at fire departments, libraries, and other community centers all across Oakland County. It's the work of the Alliance of Coalitions for Healthy Communities, responding to the growing epidemic of opioid addiction and overdose in the area. Director of Harm Reduction Steve Norris tells us what's inside.
It's nasal naloxone in case of an accidental exposure to opioids, and also testing strips for fentanyl, xylazine, and resources for someone who's actively seeking to get help for either mental health or substance use disorder.
He says xylazine, or tranq, is the newer ingredient found with fentanyl. They found a 30% increase in supplies tainted with tranq in places like Pontiac and Waterford. So
that's an animal tranquilizer meant for cattle, horses, so on and so forth, that kind of mimics the same effect, or the euphoric effect, that an opioid would. And what's happening is, as the supply runs low on fentanyl, that's being put in the supply.
But it's very destructive on the human body, especially on skin and other kinds of tissue. It's really has dramatically spiked across this country. We're seeing it shipped in postally by China and muled in across the border, from Mexico. So both of those things are not abating at all.
Sheriff Bouchard says the general public distribution of life-saving agents like Narcan is a good thing, but warns more help is needed, with a projected increase of drugs set to flow across the border now that Title 42 is done.
As you talk about fentanyl and these other additives and other kinds of drugs, oftentimes my deputies now have to do 2 or 3 or 4 Narcan doses. So, with the average person out there being able to administer and give Narcan as a lifesaver, that's great, but they may not be carrying enough doses that can totally revive a person. So it's cautionary tales.
Meantime, these Save a Life kits will be popping up across Oakland County in 2 major pushes over the next few weeks. And law enforcement all across Metro Detroit, they say they continue to partner with federal agencies to get these drugs off the streets as quickly as they possibly can. We're live tonight, Dave Kinchin on The Edge.